This is the clip for exercise 3a. What is the slope of the tangent of the function f of x is square root of x at the point 4, 2. Before we start, let's have a quick look how this function looks like. So if we draw this, so here is x, and here is f of x, then this function looks something like this. It's only defined for positive x or x equal to 0, so I don't draw anything here for negative x. And if we ask for the slope of the tangent at the point 4, 2, so first of all, what is the tangent? Tangent is 1, 2, 3, 4. At this point is a line which in this point 4, 2 has the same slope as the function we're looking at, right? Okay, so as you can see here, at this point they just have one intersection, which basically means that they have the same slope. And how do we determine the slope? Well, if we talk about the slope of a function, then we mean derivatives. So first of all, we have to compute the derivative of this function. So if f of x is square root of x, which is equal to x to the power of 1/2, then we compute the derivative for all x, and then afterwards we insert the point we are interested in. So how do we compute the derivative? The derivative, this comes as a factor in front of the term, and what we have in the exponent gets the exponent -1. So this is equal to 1/2 times x to 1/2 minus 1 is -1/2, or we could write this as 1/2 times 1 divided x 1/2, or 1 divided by 1/2 times 1 divided by square root of x. So square root is nothing else than to the power of 1/2. Okay, so this is the slope in any point x. So, but what we are interested in is the slope at the point 4, 2. So for x equal to 4, what is the slope here? So what I have to do is have to insert this x equal to 4. So then I get 1/2 times 1 divided by square root of 4, which is equal to 1. So what we are computed here is the slope here in this point is equal to 1, which means if we look at the slope of the tangent line, or at this function here, so at this line here, the slope is that, take another color here, the slope is then 1, means that I go 1 to the right and 1 up. This is then the slope here. And then we're done. This is basically the slope of the tangent at the point 4, 2. So note that the exercise doesn't ask us to determine the whole tangent, it just asks for the slope of the tangent. So if we wanted to compute the tangent itself, then we had to go on a little bit. So let's call the tangent t, then it would have the shape a times x plus b. And this would be the slope here, and we already computed the slope. The slope is equal to 1, so we already know times x plus b, or which is equal to x plus b. And finally, if we want to compute the b, we just insert the whole point again. So we know from the function that f at 4 is equal to 2, which is easy to verify. So the square root of 4 is equal to 2. So indeed, this is this point here. And so the functional value of the tangency line has to be the same. So if I insert this here for the tangency, I get 2 is equal to x equal to 4 plus b. And then it follows that b is equal to -2. So we conclude the tangent would be t is equal to x minus 2.